You're very welcome to this webinar where we're going to look at postgraduate study at Ulster and in particular the MSc Strategic Accounting. So as I say, the course that I'll be talking about is the MSc Strategic Accounting. There are one or two features of this course which are unique. I don't believe there are any other courses available that offer those features, and I'll pick those up shortly as we go through the various slides. If you do have any questions, if you want to pop them into the chat box, I'll try and deal with them at the end of the session, or alternatively, at the end of the session, you'll see my email address. You can take the email address and email me afterwards. So if we start looking at why you might want to study at Ulster, you can see some of the key information there. I'm not going to read it out point by point because I think that's reasonably clear. But two things in particular I would pick out. Over 200,000 alumni of Ulster worldwide, and that's people in a range of positions, in a range of industries, and indeed in a range of disciplines. But I'm be looking here specifically at accounting. And then I would take the middle bullet point there on the main part of the slide, taught by experts. All of the staff that teach on the MSc are qualified accountants and have practical experience as well as teaching experience. And that's very important for this MSc because, as I'll pick up later, it's linked to the ACCA qualification, a professional accounting qualification. And the exams for professional qualifications are different to the exams within a university setting, mainly because they focus very much on the application in the workplace. So the staff will enable you through looking at questions and analysing questions to gain that experience that will be very valuable in the ACCA exams. If we quantify some of the benefits, it's well noted that you will tend to earn more money if you've got a postgraduate qualification, and the figure here is £7,000. Also, 21% more likely to be in a high-skilled employment, and many of the economies around the world are moving towards higher-skilled jobs and far fewer low-skilled jobs. So there are expanding opportunities, and that's something to be taking into account. And of course, earnings by getting further qualifications, and that's again a benefit of this particular course because it will enable you to also gain the ACCA qualification and become a professionally qualified accountant. Then that increases your earning capacity further. And the final bit shows you the sources where we've taken these statistics from. So what about Ulster's offer for postgraduate study? We have flexible modes of study across all our subjects, and we've flexible study levels. So at the moment, I'm going to be talking to you specifically about full-time MSc, but you can see there are other options. And what's really important, I think, is that you ensure that you choose the course that you feel will best meet your needs. I'm not here to try and convince you that the MSc Strategic Accounting is a course that you should do. I'm here to give you information so that you can make an informed decision. Across all our courses, we, as far as possible, seek professional recognition. And actually, where the MSc Strategic Accounting is different is that professional recognition is fundamental to the course and was also fundamental to the course design and the reason for establishing it. And the reason for that is that I've mentioned ACCA several times already, but perhaps you're not even aware what those initials stand for. It's the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, a professional body that operates globally. And what we've done is we have taken the syllabus of their final set of exams, what they call the Strategic Professional module, and we've taken each of those papers in that module and adopted the syllabus from those papers as the core syllabus for our MSc Strategic Accounting. We'll pick up on the detail of that in a moment or two. So if you'd like to apply, it's fairly simple. You go to ulster.ac.uk and you'll see a link there where you can go through the application process. There's no official closing date for most courses, and applications are rolling. However, for this particular course that I'm talking about, in order to align with the ACCA exam timetable, we begin teaching I'm saying they're early September. The dates are variable from year to year, depends on a number of factors, but it really does mean that you need to factor that in. We will be beginning the classes before September is out. So if you're thinking about this, you need to make a decision to ensure that you're committed to the course and that you've completed the application process in time to be ready to begin your studies then. You can, of course, apply for multiple courses, but if you want to do that, please make a separate application for each course. And it's best to make sure that you can fully complete the application, because that will cause a delay, because we'll have to come back and ask for that information. So if you have any doubt about what information is required, please contact the admissions department. And it says there that's we in terms of the university in total, will help. And I know that the staff in that department are extremely helpful with any queries that applicants come along with. In terms of fees and finance, our courses start from, as you can see there, around 6,750 €, and there are flexible payment options. If you're an alumni, or alumnus I should say, of Ulster, then you get a 10% discount. There's a further 5% discount if you pay all of your fees up front, and loans of up to 5,500 are available. It's best to check all of that information and how it relates to any course that you're applying for by looking at the university website. So let's talk about ACCA and give you a little bit more detail about that. As I've already said, it's a globally recognized professional qualification, and currently ACCA has more than 210,000 members and 527,000 students. And I'm reading that out just to make sure that you're aware that that's not a typo. And in fact, new members are joining all the time, so that's why I'm saying more than. I think the current membership number is significantly above the 210,000. But the global reach is really important as well, because ACCA operates in 179 countries. And that means that the ACCA qualification is extremely transportable. And I'm heavily involved in ACCA activities, and I've had the pleasure of meeting and making friends with members in, I haven't counted the countries, but I have more countries than I will ever visit in my lifetime. And that global reach and that inclusivity is something that I believe is very important, and it is at the core of what ACCA does. In order to become a member, there are 3 steps that need to be completed. The one that most people are aware of is that exams need to be completed. So there are 13 exams in the ACCA qualification. I'll pick that up in a moment or two. You also need to obtain 36 months of relevant practical experience, and you record that on the ACCA website through a thing called the Practical Experience Record. And the third bit, which is often not something that students are aware of, you need to complete a separate module, an online module called the Ethics and Professional Skills module. And the title of that module is very descriptive. So it looks at professional skills, and you can do that at any point as an ACCA student. And if you come in the MSc Strategic Accounting, we will be recommending that you do that as soon as possible for a variety of reasons. Not the least is that the professional skills that are developed through this module are the very skills I was talking about earlier in terms of application, and what makes this MSc different to a standard academic qualification. And that's not just a supposition. There is data to support that. It would appear that over the last number of exam sittings, those students who've completed the Ethics and Professional Skills module early in their attempting the exams within the whole Strategic Professional module are 25% more likely to pass those exams. So it definitely helps with your exam performance. So if you want to become a professional accountant through the medium of the MSc Strategic Accounting, the first step is you need to complete either a BSc accounting degree or another degree that gives you 9 exemptions, or you need to have completed the first 9 ACCA exams. So going back to the previous slide, to come on to the MSc, you must have completed 9 exams. Therefore, there are 4 left. Those 4 ACCA exams are the Strategic Business Leader, Strategic Business Reporting, and then there are 4 options from which you do 2. advanced audit and assurance, advanced performance management, advanced financial management, and advanced taxation. So all of those ACCA papers, as I've said, the syllabus has been embedded into separate modules on the university course. We have other modules built around it. So you will also undertake a module called Introduction to Research, which is really to ensure that when you come to one of our other optional modules, either a dissertation or strategic business project, that you've got the necessary skills. But more importantly, even than completing the course, one of the reasons why I put that in is that talking to employers when I was designing the course, I was getting a very clear feeling from them that what they wanted, what they need, in fact, more than what they wanted, is people who can solve problems. And solving problems are about finding solutions, and you find solutions through having the right information. And essentially, that's what research is about. So it's researching the problem that you're looking at within a business. And that links into the strategic business project, because that module is done in the final semester of study. And in that module, a student will work with a specific company on a specific project, and we will ensure that the project and the way that it's carried out meets the requirements of ACCA's professional experience requirement. So over a semester, which lasts 4 months, you will be able to get 4 months practical experience. And depending on how you structure it, you may be able to get more. And the real benefit of that, this is one of the unique features of the course, is that you graduate with an MSc. Hopefully you will also have passed the ACCA exams. I will pick that up in a moment or two. And you will have practical experience. So graduates from this course should be highly employable. And the information I received from employers when designing the course was that they felt that that would help them in recruiting the kind of staff that they need. So you'll complete the MSc by doing those modules. The degree will include that practical experience, which is what I'm referring to in the strategic business project module. And also, you'll have passed already the applied knowledge and applied skills ACCA exams. And what we do is we take you through the teaching for ACCA papers, and the assessment for the university award is satisfactory completion of practice questions, reflection, and a reflection on at least one mock exam. And those are all things that would be considered best practice in preparing for an ACCA exam. So by doing the work that's needed to prepare for an ACCA exam and documenting that, that's what gives you the MSc award. And the teaching will have equipped you to sit the ACCA exams. And the ACCA exams take place in the first week of, if we take it from the beginning of the academic year, from December, there are exams in September, but we aren't aiming for those. So December, March, June, and then the following September. And we would be aiming for students to undertake ACCA exams usually each December and June, although because it's not part of the university assessment, you can defer those exams. There are certain issues around the curriculum and the syllabus that we would need to talk about, but we can talk about those details if you join the course. So by completing the MSc, you will have had an opportunity to complete all of the ACCA exams, and as I say, hopefully will have passed. And then step 3 is you continue your professional career. You've got your master's qualification. You've done everything you needed to complete the ACCA exams. You go on and complete the practical professional experience to the 36 months and gain membership. So just to give a little bit more detail in that, ACCA used the term embedded masters for this course and others like it. So while there are other embedded masters available, with ACCA embedded masters available, I've already mentioned one unique feature of our course, and the second feature is the fact that you can complete all of the ACCA exams. Again, as far as I'm aware, all other MSCs offer some of the strategic professional exams, but not all of them. We've also got additional modules, as I mentioned, strategic business project, or dissertation, depending on whether you want to get practical experience or do something more desk-based and I suppose academic. And then the other optional module that you will have is either cybersecurity or data analytics. Technology is becoming extremely important and is at the center of everything that goes on in accounting, and the importance of technology will only grow. So we felt it was appropriate to give students an opportunity to gain those skills, and again, that was very strongly supported by employers. As I've mentioned, the Strategic Business Project module gives you work experience and part completion of the PER, and you have the opportunity to complete an MSc and professional exams. I probably should have said already, so therefore I'll say it now. The reason why we have to do it this way is that ACCA cannot give exemptions from strategic professional exams. That's a regulatory issue. In order to maintain the standard of the qualification, they're required to submit all new members to examinations. So that's why we have this separation between the university assessment and ACCA exams. And as I've said a couple of times, the course is unique in those terms that I've been talking about. Just a reiteration of those points, all of the strategic professional papers are included. You get practical experience through the Strategic Business Project, and completing the MSc prepares you for ACCA exams. So the benefits of this are implicit in what I've been saying already. You get a master's degree and professional exams completed. There's a possible 3-month paid, I should have also said it is a paid internship opportunity with an ACCA employer. So it should be someone who understands what you're doing and will therefore even be able to provide perhaps some support. It gives you the flexibility to take ACCA exams when you want. It's not when we say you must do them. There are deadlines and cutoff dates for university assessment, but those don't relate to ACCA. There are other deadlines and cutoffs with ACCA, but they're outside the university system. As I've mentioned, you get taught by qualified ACCA staff with international industry experience. So we will be basically helping you to see how you can apply your knowledge and demonstrate that application. And you get the opportunity to collaborate and network with fellow students worldwide both through the ACCA process and indeed through the university alumni links. So just to come back to the points about what you will actually study. So strategic business leadership or strategic business leader, that's an ACCA paper which looks at a combination of strategy, ethics, and it's really an all-encompassing module that seeks to develop broad-based professional skills. Strategic business reporting is a financial reporting paper which looks very much at the structure of financial reporting, the regulations, and it's very applied. Advanced taxation, I suspect, is pretty self-explanatory, but what I should say, just in case there's any doubt for students coming from outside the UK, we would be looking at UK tax in that paper. Advanced performance management is, it's really, most people would call it management accounting, but the title is there because the focus of management accounting is about managing business performance. So there's a very close link between strategic business leader and advanced performance management. Advanced audit and assurance, again, pretty self-explanatory, but what's worth drawing out is that if a student wishes on admission to membership to ACCA to gain a practicing certificate, in other words, to have the right to set up your own practice, then you would need to take the advanced audit and assurance module. There's advanced financial management, which again I think is self-explanatory, looking at financial instruments and financial gains and how businesses are financed and financial strategy. And then, as I've mentioned, there's the option between cybersecurity or data analytics. We are aiming to start on our Belfast campus. That's not entirely clear at this present moment. It seems to be the case that we may well be in Jordanstown for the first semester of the 21-22 year. We have start dates of September or January, but I need to clarify that. The MSc Strategic Accounting begins in September. But we also have a version of the course which was designed to accommodate students who have 4 ACCA exemptions, and that mainly is students who have completed a BCom honours degree and have 4 exemptions. And so those students need to do an additional semester of study, and so they would join in January. So someone joining the MSc Strategic Accounting Extended in January 22 will study modules in the second semester of that academic year. They will then do a further module over the summer, and those modules, when passed, give exemptions from another 5 ACCA exams. So by the end of the summer of 2022, such students would be in a position to move on to the MSc Strategic Accounting because it will have the 9 exemptions. We created one course because it was important that students who were coming from overseas and needed visas only needed 1 visa. We didn't want students having to apply for a second visa when they completed that first semester and possibly not being able to get a visa. So it's a specific course. They're full-time courses. We do have part-time options. And if someone's interested in that, I can talk to you about it separately if you drop me an email. You would usually be on campus for 3 sessions of 4 hours per week. So we would spread those out over 3 days, so that there would be 1 session per day. But it's really important to understand that if you're going to do study at this level, and if you're a graduate, you'll know this, that you must put in time into private study. And so as a rule of thumb, we would suggest you need 2 hours of private study for each hour of class contact. And so that comes out at about 35 to 40 hours per week. And to complete the MSc Strategic Accounting, there are 3 semesters, and so it takes 18 months to complete. If you think back to what I said a few moments ago about the extended version, which starts in January, there's an extra semester, so that would be 24 months to complete the extended program. The MSc assessment is 100% coursework, and that coursework, as I've said, is documenting your preparation for ACCA exams. You'll be taught, we will be using a mixture of face-to-face and online lectures. We're using online lectures because we always did think that this was the best way to deliver technical content, and the pandemic, where we've had to move to fully online, has reinforced that view. But the pandemic has also reinforced the view from students that they do not want everything to be online. So you'll have detailed, focused online lectures. And then just below that, you'll see tutor-led reflective discussions. So we will then have face-to-face classroom discussions where the tutor will lead it, and we'll go through past exam questions and exam level questions and discuss how to answer those using past ACCA papers. There'll be a series of multiple choice revision tests to make sure that after you've studied a session that you've got the grips with it, and there'll be in-depth supporting handouts. The entry criteria I've touched on, but it's probably useful just to make them explicit. So you need to have passed or been exempted from the first 9 ACCA papers. That's the 9 papers that make up the applied knowledge and applied skills modules of ACCA. You need to be enrolled as a student with ACCA. The reason for that is that it's important that you're enrolled in time to be able to enter for ACCA exams. And if you're an overseas student, you need an IELTS score of 6 or above. And as I've touched on, we've pathways for applicants with less than 9 ACCA passes or exemptions. So if you fall into that category, I'm very happy to talk to you on a one-to-one basis and explain what needs to be done. We will be opening our campus. We're anticipating September 21 or possibly January 22. And all courses transferring from Jordanstown will go to that new enhanced Belfast campus. And you can see those on the university website. So we're trying to keep it as simple as possible and respond appropriately to the COVID regulations. So the semester 1, the teaching will be on the Jordanstown campus. From the beginning of semester 2, then we'll transfer to Belfast, and precise timetabling will be given at the beginning of the semester. But as I've said, if it's a full-time course, while you will be in class 3 days a week, you do need to be thinking about devoting, if you like, a normal working week of 5 days to your studies. Unfortunately, This time we can't avoid talking about COVID, so there are some points there that just highlight what we're doing. We take student safety and staff safety is our priority, so we operate safely within all the regulations. We moved, when we had to move off campus, to deliver teaching remotely, and that demonstrated that we are agile and we're responsive. So we will be responding as necessary to any further public health issues. And we want everybody back on campus, safe and enjoying that campus experience. And you can keep up to date on the website, simply ulster.ac.uk/coronavirus. If you have any questions regarding postgraduate study, then please do get in touch. Although that's my email address, I wouldn't claim to have a great deal of knowledge around other courses, but if you can't find the contact person for another course that you're interested in, then do feel free to drop me an email and I will introduce you to the right person. And if you have any queries about the MSc Strategic Accounting, then you can email me at that email address or telephone me. I've just realized that telephone number doesn't include if you're dialing from outside the UK. So if you are, drop the 0 and replace that with +44. So I hope that's been helpful. I hope that it gives you information, useful information that you need. And you can sign up for our webinars on the link that's shown there. And thank you for the comment in the chat box. But I'll stay on live in the call for a few minutes to see if anybody does have any questions that they want to come through the chat box, or either I'm not sure if you've got the functionality to talk directly to me. So if you have any questions, please pop them in the chat box. Okay, there don't seem to be any questions, which indicates that either my explanation was tremendously clear, which I doubt very much, or perhaps I've put everyone to sleep. But certainly, I'll just take the slide back for a moment to the email address. If you think of any questions afterwards, then please feel free to email me at r.patton@ulster.ac.uk. Thanks very much.